Hi, Stacy Alcorn here, CEO of Layer Realty Partners. And today I wanted to do a video to address 1% listing fees. Sometimes our consumers ask us, what is the difference between a discount real estate company that has what they call a 1% listing fee and what a full service real estate brokerage does? So I put together just a quick little presentation to explain the difference between the discount real estate companies and a full service real estate company like Layer. So first of all, what I want you to know about the 1% listing fee, it's not really a 1% listing fee because what they're not telling you, or what the fine print is there's additional commission that needs to get paid, because on every listing, typically what you'll see is you want to attract the real estate agent community to come in and sell the property. So that 1% listing fee does not take care of potential buyer agents. By the way, more than 90% of listings are sold from outside agents, just real estate agents in communities at all different offices, and they need to get paid for their work on the transaction, and that is typically paid for through the seller or the listing commission. So first thing I want you to know is it's not really a 1% listing fee. Really, at a minimum, you're at, say, a 3.5% or 4%. It might vary slightly, but that 1% does not include what is going to be paid to the buyer agent. Secondly, what it's important to think about when you're listing a property is that it costs money to sell the property. Beyond just hiring a real estate agent and the talent that they bring to the table, more than paying for their time, they're actually paying for services in order to maximize what you get for your property. The goal of a full service real estate agent is to get you the most money for your property. In order to get you the most amount of money, they're going to want to do professional photography, 3D tours, drone photography, professional staging in some cases, social media advertising, print marketing, mailers, and postcards. So what I want you to think about, I threw out some numbers here, but in general, it often costs 1%. Just for the marketing, all the stuff that needs to get done in order to get the property sold. So if you're listing with a company, a discount real estate company, and they say, all we're going to make is our 1% on the list side, what I'm telling you is that you're losing somewhere. Something is not getting done, whether it's professional photography or social media advertising, mailers or postcards, something is not getting done. Or they're going to charge you for it. So there's going to be additional fees, making it so that it's not really a 1% commission, because it costs money in order to get you the most money for your property, just marketing the property. Next, I want you to know about the divided agent model. So one of the big discount real estate companies out there, what they do is they have a divided agent model. What that means is, now, if you were to go to a traditional brokerage, a full-service brokerage like Layer, you're going to be working with one main real estate agent. They are accountable to getting the deal done. Their sole focus is selling your property. Under the divided agent model that happens at one of the bigger discount brokerages, there are multiple people involved in each transaction. So for example, they have agents that their sole job at that company is to open doors or show properties. But then once a buyer has found a property, now it goes to a negotiating agent. There are marketing agents, there are negotiating agents, there are showing agents. The point is there's multiple hands on that file, meaning that there's no one agent that is absolutely accountable to answering to you to get that property sold. So what I want you to know is that in the average real estate transaction, there are multiple potential obstacles to get through. You have home inspections, appraisal issues, marketing the property. There's all kinds of potential obstacles. And what we believe is that it's best to have one person who is absolutely 100% accountable, that one person that's going to take your phone call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it's that person's job to get your property sold. What I would argue is that under the discount model, for one of the big discount agencies, they don't have that one person accountable program. They have a bunch of hands on the file, and so really nobody's accountable to making sure your property sells within the time frame you need it to sell and for the amount of money that the property should get. Otherwise, maximizing the amount that you're going to get for the property. That brings me to another point that I want to make about these discount agencies. One of the biggest discount companies out there, all of their agents are salaried employees. So what I want you to think about, now your typical real estate agent at a full service real estate company, they work 100% on commission. That means if your house doesn't sell, they're not getting paid. They get paid for results. Under the discount real estate model, the real estate agent at some of the big discount companies, that agent is paid a salary or a per hour. What that means is that that agent's going to get paid whether or not your property sells. So what I want you to think about, imagine that you're going to buy a luxury vehicle. You're going to buy a Bentley or Ferrari. What I want you to think about is when you go into that dealership and you're shopping for that luxury item, do you think the salesperson is making $12 an hour or $15 an hour? Or do you think that that person is commission based? Because the Ferrari dealership wants to make sure that the person who is selling the Ferrari to knows the most about it. Like, we want to make sure that that person is fully invested, understands as much as possible, is educated, is trained on their product so that they can deliver the best possible experience for you. Think about that when it comes to the sale of your house. Who's going to do a better job for you? Is it going to be the person that you hire through a discount agency? And by the way, they have to pay their agents by hour because, as we saw earlier, the money that they use, they don't have enough to work with if they're going to actually market the property and do all the stuff they need to do, advertising, marketing, photography, videos, drones. If they're going to do all that stuff, then they certainly can't pay talent to now come out and market and negotiate on your behalf. Under the full service model, our agents are paid 100% by commission only. Because they're commissioned real estate agents, they're highly trained. They understand the product they sell. They go through hours and hours and hours of training every year on how to be the best at creating relationships with their clients and how to be the best when it comes to marketing and negotiating the property to sold. Why? Because they don't get paid unless they do a great job. How do these companies, these discount companies, stay in business if they're cutting down their commission to practically nothing, to the point that they can barely afford to properly market the property to get you the most for the home? How are they making their money? And the truth is, what many of these companies are really out there for is the affiliated income that they can make from other businesses. So for example, the big one that's out there, the big discount agency that does television ads and radio ads, they have their own mortgage company. So what I could tell you is that some of these companies consider your real estate transaction, which is the biggest financial transaction of your life for most people, what they consider your transaction to be is a loss leader. They say, we're willing to not hire talent. We're willing to have a property potentially sit on the market for a while because we're going to make money other ways on this listing that is on the market. What are some of the ways that they can make money other ways? Well, first of all, they have their mortgage company. So the longer your property sits on the market, the more leads that come through on their web portal. And what do they do with those leads? They go to their mortgage partners. Some of the discount agencies own insurance companies, title companies. There's a whole host of affiliated business arrangements. What I want you to think about is like, what business is your brokerage really in? If you want to maximize the amount of money you get for your property, if you want to sell it in the fastest time frame, if you want to net the most, you need to be working with a brokerage that's the business they're in. They're not looking to get a listing for a lost leader so that they can create leads for other businesses. They're looking for your listing so that they can go out and market it and sell it for the most money in the least amount of times, because they know that not only do they create a great relationship and a referral partnership forever with that client, but they also get paid. Remember, at the discount agents, they get paid whether or not you actually close on the sale. The next piece I want you to think about when it comes to discount agents is, I have a great quote that says, if you're a bad negotiator, do your best to position yourself to negotiate as little as possible. So what this quote says is that if you're not good at negotiating, then be a commodity, price low so that you don't even have to negotiate. So what many of these discount agencies do is they say, we're going to give you the absolute minimum. We're going to charge you barely anything to put your property on the market, because we don't want to negotiate because we're not good at negotiating. But what I want you to think about is that if they're not good at negotiating, what's going to happen when a lowball offer comes in on your home? So many people look at a discount real estate company and they say, you know what? I really want to save 1 or 2% on the commission, so I'm going to go with the discount agent. I don't care that they can't negotiate well. I don't care that they're going to skimp on the marketing services. I just want to get my house sold fast. Well, what we see in those instances is that every once in a while you get a consumer who ends up cutting off their nose to spite their face. So in an effort to save 1 or 2% on a commission, because they don't want to go out and hire talent, they end up losing 5 to 10% in the price of the property. So what I mean by that is, you go out, you're listing your home for $500,000 and you're looking to save $5,000 on the commission. What I will tell you is that you're not getting an agent who is a skilled negotiator who's going to get you the most for your property. So when an offer comes in 10% or 15% or 20% below the asking price, do you have a highly skilled commissioned real estate agent who can negotiate that person up to full price or over full price? Don't go out and save 1 or 2% in your commission only to lose 5 or 10% in the sale of your property. If you really want to save, if you really want to net the most money in your pocket, if that's what you really care about, then you need to hire a professional real estate agent. What discount real estate companies don't want you to realize, a great real estate agent is an investment in your future, and that the return is priceless. A great real estate agent is going to net you the most so that you make the most in your pocket. After you take the gross amount that you'll get from a full service agent and you deduct out all of your expenses, including the expenses for selling the property, you will net more by working with a talented real estate professional whose full-time career is selling real estate, who only gets paid when they net you the most for the home. So remember, hire a lion. We are Layer Realty Partners. We help about 3,100 families a year buy and sell real estate across New England. We are proudly a full-service real estate agent. We are the lions of real estate. Our agents are strong. They are negotiators of difficult terrain when it comes to negotiating, and they are true protectors of their clients. So if you want to net the most, if you want a great experience, if you want to invest in a real estate agent who is going to create returns when it comes to your real estate transactions for the rest of your life, hire a Lion, hire a Lair Realty Partners agent.